check it out. It's an amazing tech. I already know before I test it out myself. Welcome to Cars in Korea. I introduce newly released Genesis Hyundai and Kia cars. And on my background, as you saw from the thumbnail, I have 2024 all-new Hyundai Santa Fe, and right next to it is 2025 Hyundai Tucson facelift. I know it just is one of those funny way of titling the car here in Korea. Bear with me, that is a 2025 model here in Korea. And the reason why I am making this video, we all know that Santa Fe is a bigger brother and Tucson is baby brother of the Santa Fe. So Santa Fe should be better in every single way you could possibly imagine. But I know that there are some of you guys that have split decision between the Santa Fe and Tucson. And that is, of course, put aside the money factor, but you are debating between the two because, well, they are literally the latest cars from Hyundai, but also you want a small car like Tucson, but you want all the tech from the Hyundai Santa Fe. Hyundai definitely knows that there are markets and demands like that. That is the reason why Hyundai gave us those loaded options with the latest all-new Kona. You can even get 360-degree view cam in Kona now, along with the HDA and also HUD. So before you drop that comment down below, trust me, there are people who want the smaller car but want the best of it all, putting together the tech, the ride. Without further ado, I have these two cars lined up. Let me give you the up-close look of it, both inside out. As for the test drive, I have a thorough review of both cars, not even the test drive, but also the interior and exterior of these cars on my channel, so feel free to check it out. I do want to just give you a side-by-side real-world comparison of these two vehicles today in this video. For the record, I have over a dozen video, I think, on this all-new Santa Fe now, also including that unique model with the rooftop tent on top of it. Do not miss it out. Check it out. I just got this test driver car for the Tucson facelift. I will be driving it for a week and I'll tell you all about it, where I have both great amount of time and mileage spent together with the car. All right, so let's go check it out. First and foremost, let's get started with the exterior of the car. So the Tucson facelift, although subtle, it certainly does have a facelifted look. The front especially looks quite different from the pre-facelift, which I will also give you a side-by-side comparison momentarily. So just to give you a quick recap, there is 4 DRL lights now, whereas it was 5, and the turn signal used to be somewhere right here, but now on a facelift, these 2 DRL lights light up all together, working as the turn signal. And that is also that intelligent headlight that's been implemented for the first time. That is something that Santa Fe doesn't even have. That was like a Genesis level, but Hyundai decided to put that in the facelift Tucson. I don't know what happened, but that is what this Tucson got. I will also definitely check that out during my night test drive. I might be including the footage right now by the time I edit this video, so check it out. It's an amazing tech. I already know before I test it out myself. Put all that aside though, you can see how much higher the Santa Fe is in terms of the DRL and also the headlight. It is just so much higher. So that is the DRL for Tucson, and that's the whole DRL for Santa Fe right over here. But most importantly, that's where the headlight is for Santa Fe. So it's actually projecting, shooting down from that towards the bottom, whereas the headlights are right over there for Tucson. So it sits much lower relatively compared to that of a Santa Fe. Because it sits so much lower, that tech could definitely help out this Tucson facelift. There is no active air flap on Tucson, but Santa Fe gets it. It's not just the fancy tech that Hyundai wanted to show off with. No, it actually does help a lot with the coefficient of drag. So when that is closed, of course, the car is going to push the air around and outwards. So that way it's going to create less of the disturbance on the front, and also the drag created, the force that's actually dragging the car from the rear, the drag created by the car at the end, that actually does add up a lot to coefficient of drag. So this Santa Fe, despite the box, as the designer very himself calls it, despite the box design, the box this is, it managed to get ridiculous amount of coefficient of drag. If I recall correctly, it is 0.29, and that figure is something that we have been seeing on EVs. Even the designers, even the teams, they were surprised of how much low coefficient of drag that this Santa Fe managed to get. And that is adding all together all of the bits of tiny pieces all together, such as this indented window on the second row seat. You see it's carved outwards like that, however it gets tucked in right here on the second row seat, so that also adds on to the extra coefficient of drag. Not sure if it's open, okay, it's locked, but this is the hidden assist door handle, giving that sleek look and also adding on to the better CD coefficient of drag. Even you see this tiny little thing right here, kind of a lip, the spoiler like, even that add up to the CD. So that is how much work that Hyundai has done with the Santa Fe, and that's what they came up with. Bigger brother, little brother, so this is better in every single way possible than this Tucson. However, this is the latest car from Hyundai, and also Hyundai sells this Tucson the most in North American market. And not just that, this is one of the best-selling cars globally. Tucson has done it again. Although it's a minimal facelift on the exterior, something did change as well. That turn signal still is located at the bottom, but come this facelift, it even got slightly lower. I don't know what to say here. I'm just stating the fact. Bear with me. I don't think I've seen one single comment saying that they like the lower turn signals, but that just is how it is because Hyundai has to meet the regulations all throughout the world, and that is one of the simplest and easiest way for them to do so. One of the many reasons why it ended up being located right there. Pretty sure Hyundai has thought about putting the turn signals right here. It would have just worked beautifully. If that was turn signal, I mean, it would have looked real badass too. That kind of a tooth-like turn signal, uniquely Tucson. Tucson already has the unique design of its own. So compare this profile and design of a Tucson to that of a Santa Fe. So Santa Fe is the box, but it's got a lot of curvature inside out. It's not just a simple rectangle or square when you take a look at the Santa Fe closely. Tucson, you don't even need that. Just take a quick glance of it. This Tucson's got a straight rigid lines, even those taillights pointy and unique. That was a bold move by Hyundai coming up with that design. Look at that. Kind of gives me that over fender vibe to it. Over fender that gets attached right to the rear wheel, and that is also the same thing. It is exaggerated and overstretched, but if you actually make it smaller, tighter, it just looks like a over fender kit that's out there. So that's how bold the design is with the facelift Tucson. Speaking of which, even the front portion right here, even more aggressive on the facelift. They got rid of one extra light on the front, hence they were able to play around a little more on the front look of the car, I guess. Tell me in the comment below, do you prefer the pre-facelift or facelift Tucson? On top of the calligraphy trim, you can get what's called Black Ink Edition, and easiest way for you to differentiate is the black emblem on the front and the rear, and the lettering Santa Fe. It's all blacked out, hence Black Ink Edition. I also have a explicit review video on the Black Ink Edition too, so feel free to check it out. Come Tucson, there is no Black Ink Edition. However, you get the N line. As for the SUVs, Tucson is the largest car that you can get with an N line. There is the Sonata N line, Elantra N line, but there is only Kona and Tucson N line thus far. And I've been getting a lot of questions about the PHEV plug-in hybrid. Korea never got PHEVs, so I don't know whereabouts with the PHEV currently for domestic market, but if you have been getting it where you are, it's very likely that you will also get the PHEV. As for the hybrid, it's got a little stronger by about 5 horsepower because the motor has gotten stronger. All right, enough of the exterior. Let's jump into the interior. Let's get started with the Tucson first. I think that's a fair way to get started. Of course, there will be a thorough review of the interior of this vehicle. As I have said, I want to give you a side-by-side comparison in today's video. It's got a beautiful light interior, not Napa leather, but it is a leather seat, and it's got the ventilated heated seats. All of that self-explanatory on all of these buttons. Although high gloss, again, not everybody is a big fan of it. Memory seats. And the beautiful part of it all, of course, dual 12.3-inch monitors, and that is the finger recognition system. Fingerprint recognition system right there. This is the 1.6 turbo regular model. So the display has the CCNC, which stands for Connected Car Navigation Cockpit, wireless Apple CarPlay, as well as Android Auto. And that's the same case with Santa Fe. The Korean version Santa Fe didn't get it at the start when it first rolled out, but again, thanks to the CCNC using the wireless update, that Santa Fe also does get the wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So a lot of things we see here, you might probably see it on Santa Fe as well. Judging by the comparison, you would probably feel that Santa Fe is an upgrade in many ways. That being said, I want to say that Tucson is more like compact and smaller version of Santa Fe almost. That first was applied on Hyundai Casper, which is the microcar only sold in Korea at the moment. Drop-down glove box. The center console, it's much smaller. However, they managed to carve this out and give us the center console right here. You could fit a purse, no problem. The car needs to have the all-wheel drive, which is H-Track for Hyundai. It did eat away quite a lot of space right here. Once again, there needs to be a drive shaft that will be going through, connected to the rear wheel for that H-Track all-wheel drive. However, it's quite spacious given the amount that Hyundai carved inside. All the self-explanatory buttons right here, one charging pad and cup holders. It's gonna be the same key fob for this car and Santa Fe. There is the center arm console. Keep an eye on that. There will be a difference about that one as well. Quickly taking a look at the passenger seat, same piano black. There is no shade. One water bottle right here, and that's it. So it was the manual seats, that which you can fold. It has a bit of a dive down seat. The only AC vents that we get for the second row seat. Nice seat charging port though, gigantic panoramic sunroof. All right, so let's check out Santa Fe now. Immediately, it's already much bigger than the smaller brother Tucson. Even look at the size of the doors too. So it's got the memory seats, two of them, but also there is the Ergo Motion seat. Hyundai doesn't use the word massage, but it essentially is the massage seat. Does not have piano black. Leather all around, Napa leather, feels much more luxurious. Also extra pocket right here, and you can see that it's larger than Tucson's. It's all motorized seats right here. Santa Fe kick plate. Napa leather, top of the line, premium leather. Love that H logo, the design of Santa Fe that's been implemented all throughout. Santa Fe does get a gigantic sunroof as well, but it's not the panoramic sunroof, same as Tucson. It's different. So there is a tiny sunroof on the front, and they got the wide sunroof, but that one does not open up. It is only the shade that would open up. The latest Kia Carnival does have the second row sunroof open up, so perhaps that is something that we might see on next Santa Fe, perhaps, fingers crossed. It is the same thing. Santa Fe does also have all-wheel drive, H-Track, so there needs to be a drive shaft going through in the middle to the rear, so that is the reason why there is a gigantic hump right there. However, Hyundai has done a great job of carving that inside. It gives much more space than Tucson. You could take a look at it yourself, right? So let me get inside and show you the interior of a Santa Fe as well. So there is the Santa Fe design all throughout the car, as you can see. One long horizontal line, and that is actually UVC sterilization system right there that you can sanitize any items such as smartphones, or if you have a baby related items, that can sterilize 99.9% of the germs up to 10 minutes. Same key fob as I have mentioned, but two wireless charging pads, and the charging animation is actually different. So it only blinks up like that. It does not show you how much charging it has been done, but it only is the indicator of the phone being charged. So pretty much the same design or feel, vibe to it, I would say. All self-explanatory. So these buttons located somewhere right here for Tucson, but it's all integrated right here for Santa Fe. I honestly want to say that this design is much more refined and looks far more more luxurious. Again, bigger brother, smaller brother. Same column shift right here, shift by wire type. They deserve an award. With this, everything, all of this has been made possible. That hands down is my favorite thing that Hyundai recently is pumping out. It's the same thing, 12.3-inch dual monitors left and right, and also the fingerprint recognition system. And the HUD, one more thing, it gets the digital center mirror. What that is this. So this is the typical conventional rearview mirror versus digital center mirror. I've been yelping about that multiple times already, but it's not just the rear view mirror turned digital, but it shows far more visibility than a traditional conventional mirror. As you can probably just see it right now. And the best part, if you have people sitting inside, because Santa Fe does come in 5, 6, 7-seater configuration and luggage, full of luggage on the trunk, you can't see the rear view mirror. But with the digital center mirror, you don't need to worry anything about that. The drop-down glove box. Oh, I'm sorry. There is an extra storage, shelf-like storage right here. It's much smaller than Tucson's, but there still is one right here. And I want to show you. Okay, so that is the hidden assist door handle that I was trying to show you earlier. You can use as a handle, literally hold on to it to climb up to the roof or whatnot. I've mentioned it and shown you the practice of it multiple times in my video already. Check it out. Immediately, manual sunshade, the heated seats, so it's the same thing. There is no ventilated seats on the second row seat. 2 cup holders, much bigger window right here. Extra glass, it's a bonus glass, but still gives you a far more visibility inside when you're sitting inside the second row seat. Same thing for the third row seat. It looks really big, the quarter glass, but don't be mistaken, it's not larger than Palisade. I also do have a side-by-side comparison video with a Palisade and Santa Fe, and that's how I know. This car came with the captain seats, 2-seater on the second row seat. It gets some motorized seats as well. And this is the thing that I've been meaning to show you. That is, you can actually open this up from the second row seat, and also you can get this out from the second row seat. So this is the tray shared with the first row seat. So same thing, all self-explanatory, except that it has the relaxation mode right here at a tap of your finger, just like that. The third row seats are currently all folded. Let me wrap it up by showing you the rear trunk, and that is a relaxation mode passenger seat. The rear trunk is located right here. It is only the reverse cam that's been put right there, whereas that is for the digital center mirror. So that's me right there, and that is for the onboard camera. It is currently recording both the front and rear using that cam. Digital center mirror, onboard cam, and reverse camera. So there are 3 cameras at the back of this Santa Fe. Open this trunk up, fully automated, of course. This is where it gets a little different. This is for the onboard camera and reverse cam. There is no cameras on top because Tucson does not get the digital center mirror. Trunk button is located right here for Tucson as well. Just look at the size of the rear trunk and the angle that it opens up to. So for Santa Fe, it's literally a shelter. Well, same thing for Tucson, but you could just immediately see how far it stretches out, how rectangular that is compared to that of the Tucson's. This is where you can spot the differences immediately. Santa Fe has the vertical struts right there versus Tucson gets that because of the shape of the rear. And because of that, Santa Fe had to put the struts right here, just like so. And that's why they ended up putting the rear taillights at the bottom, because they cannot put it on the sides. It's already taken away with the struts. They could have done it if they really wanted to, but that design is already claimed by an Escalade, don't you think? So this is the trunk and the rear seat, 2 cup holders, and also an individual AC even for the third row seat. Comes with this 220 volt outlet. Of course, it will be changed according to your market. C-type charging ports, you can control that. 12 volt right here, C charging ports, and the AC vent. And quarter glass is much larger, you can see through it. This is Santa Fe's versus Tucson's. So yank this up in order to get your third row seat, just like that. All of this ISOFIX friendly, including that seat over there. And make a good use of this clip as well, so it's not gonna hang around, so this guy is not touching everything, making that all that rattling noise. The buttons right here, license plate light right there, hidden rear wiper right over there, and the third brake light. Comes with the roof rails standard, not as aggressive as that of the Santa Fe, but Tucson also gets it. Same thing, fully automated, gets the power tailgate and license plate lights right there, and the rear wiper. I forgot to show you the rear of the Tucson third row seat, huh? Haha. We can spot the differences immediately right here. So there is nothing for me to actually show you and go through. There is only this manual yanking seats for the seats, just like so, and 12-volt outlet. That's just about it. So that's it for today's quick comparison video of 2025 Hyundai Tucson facelift right there versus 2024 Hyundai all new Santa Fe. Once again, the reason why I make this video, I know these cars are not direct competitors whatsoever, but I did come up with this video because I know there are people debating between the two. Put aside the money. I hope you found my video helpful. So that's it for today's video. If you've been watching all this far, well, thank you very much, and don't forget to subscribe and like Car Scene Korea. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. And I am definitely coming up with more videos on this facelift Tucson, so stay tuned. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.